And now, WheezyWaiter will attempt a new world record. It's a new world record. So, how did I get to this point where I was able to fake solve a Rubik's Cube in 2 seconds? Well, I went to college, took some video production classes, became fluent in video editing software, actually learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube much slower like 3 weeks ago, and then faked it with video. Thank you. Thank you. I'm very proud of myself. But for real, I do know how to solve one. By way of Googling it, finding this very helpful video from Wired, and then practicing for a few days, and now I can solve it in like 2 minutes. Which, I mean, come on, it's pretty close to the world record of 3.47 seconds from this kid named Yusheng Du. That was the only video I could find. But the slightly slower solve from acclaimed cubist, not cubist, cuber Felix Zemdegs gives you a close-up idea.
Ow. Oh, come on, get a sub 5.
Oh my god, 4.22 seconds. I was so bored with that extra 3/4 of a second. What? I took a nap. And I didn't want you to be bored, so I threw in a single frame of a cat in there. Did you see? Kitty. Why did I decide to solve a Rubik's Cube now at 39 despite half-assing a Rubik's Cube my whole life up to now? I have no idea. Maybe it was because a wise man once told me if you half-ass something, you will only half-poop it. Actually, that was me, so that's not it. It wasn't for the sake of making this video. I did not plan to make this video when I decided to solve it. I don't know why I did it, but I'm glad I did it. Why? I also don't know why. Just like I don't know why I learned to juggle. It has literally never been useful in my life, but I am waiting for the day when I need to carry 3 coconuts across a bridge that can only hold me and 2 coconuts. Uh-oh. There goes a coconut. And looking back, I think I approached learning guitar the same way. Initially, I wasn't even that into rock music. I didn't have aspirations to be a rock and rollist, as no one calls them. I just started noodling around and discovered that the more I did it, the better I got, and that was exciting. And eventually, I became unknown as the mediocre guitarist that you don't think about as a guitarist to this day. Playing guitar did eventually define my life, though, for a while, playing with my rock band. Juggling never really did. Circus already had enough jugglers, and they didn't accept my pitch to be the bearded man. I thought it was interesting. Works on YouTube. Side note, maybe I could learn how to cube while juggling like this kid. First, let's try it with 1. That's insane, I'm not doing that. But I didn't actually learn any of these things to define my life, even though maybe they do define my life in unseen ways. Much like how an unseen blue square moves from here to there as I try to solve the puzzle, dictating the entire cube destiny without me knowing. Like how juggling or Rubik's cubing or guitaring gives me motor skills and problem-solving abilities in some hard-to-detect way. Point is, I don't know what the point is, but I do know when I started to do it, a bunch of questions came to my head, so I decided to make this video to answer them. 1. Why did I want to solve a Rubik's Cube, and why do I enjoy it? That's 2 questions. But much like 20 squares on the same turn, they go together. I'm killing it with the metaphors today. 2. Is my newfound rubsessive compulsion good for me in any way? Is it useful? And 3, I forgot what question 3 was. But before we answer these questions, first I'm going to answer the question that many of you probably have, and many of you don't. How do you solve a Rubik's Cube? How do you solve a problem like a Rubik's Cube? Guitar skills paying off. Here's how. You Google it, you find the instructions, and then you do it, and then you practice a lot. I highly recommend the Wired video that I found. And you know what? John Green also found it and learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube at the exact same time as me based on his comment on that video, and I had no idea. And then I came across his video about it.
Last night, with the help of Robbie Gonzalez and Anxious Insomnia, I finished a Rubik's Cube. After 30 years of failure, I did it!
And then I asked him to ask him about it, and he said he would answer, so I asked him.
Okay, we've got the white cross. Now we're gonna do some triggers. Hold on, you're calling.
Hello.
Just solving a Rubik's Cube over here.
Oh, wow, that's coincidence. That's what we're going to talk about.
But it's also like what I do every time I have 3 spare seconds, so it's real.
Okay, cool.
Hi. Sorry.
Hi.
That's the other thing is that I never make eye contact anymore. I've never been a person who makes a lot of eye contact, but like this is a great excuse not to make eye contact.
You and I think, around the same time, just decided to solve Rubik's Cubes.
Yeah, that Robbie Gonzalez video is amazing.
Now we know how to solve a Rubik's Cube. Big, hairy deal. Now, to the big, hairy questions. Why do I want to solve a Rubik's Cube and why do I enjoy it? Because I absolutely do enjoy it. I keep solving it over and over again, and it's fun.
I think I needed an activity that would occupy my mind without like stressing or taxing it. But because I don't have a very good sense of spatial intelligence, I also am like a little bit surprised and delighted every time it works because I don't totally understand why it works. I just have the algorithm memorized.
I don't think I initially had any reason why I decided to learn. It was just like, I just kind of want to learn so that I can say that I know how to do it. I don't know, mildly impress people or whatever. Plus, I'm waiting for my wife to put her baby to bed before we start watching TV, so I got to do something or whatever. And then I learned how to do it. But I had no intention of seeing how fast I could do it. But then I started timing it, and I started asking China to time it. Okay, time me.
All right, go.
Then she'd start her stopwatch, and I'd go for it. And she loved it. She was so into it. Yeah, that's why I do it, to impress her, obviously.
I can reliably solve a Rubik's Cube now in under 3 minutes, occasionally in under 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
My best is like a minute 28.
Well, you've always been a little bit better than me.
Side note, what do we call it, a stopwatch and not a start watch? Or a stop-start watch? I guess stop-start's a little bit of a mouthful. Stop-start, stop-start. And I guess it's in the stopped state more often than the started state, unless there's a stopwatch that's just been going on forever. I guess that's a clock. Anyway, so I'm not really doing it to impress people. A lot of people can solve a Rubik's Cube, and it's really easy to learn how. I guess it can be a cool party trick if we ever go to parties again. And I guess there's the other side. Not only are you not impressing people, but you're giving them the opportunity to deliver the comment. You know this comment. Oh, it's so good. Here's the comment I'm talking about.
You must have a lot of time on your hands.
Oh, so you don't have any free time then?
Nope. All I do is work. Work it every day.
Are you trying to pound a screw?
Stay in your lane, cube boy.
So when they say this comment, what they're really saying is,
The way you choose to spend your free time is invalid because I don't care about that.
or perhaps even,
I don't want to feel inferior at that activity, so I'll just bring down that activity itself.
So no, it's not really to try to impress people, although sometimes it is to try to impress myself. If I look at the motions of a speed cuber, to me that looks pretty cool. And after so much time practicing, feeling like a toddler trying to learn to walk, once in a while, it's like I get into that flow state and I feel like I'm moving like that. It's my Matrix moment.
How did you do that?
Do what?
You moved like they do. I've never seen anyone move that fast.
Wasn't fast enough.
So I think aside from trying to be Neo, I just find enjoyment in seeing something where there's an obvious goal to try to accomplish, like a video game. And there's something just incomplete there that I want to complete. Same as like popping a pimple, which I talked about in a video. We like to think of our faces as symmetrical orbs of smoothitude, a velvet playground of unblighted topography. So when we come across a blemish, it contradicts our perfect self-image. This contradicts my perfect self-image. It's human nature to try to have closure, bring order to chaos, destroy and rebuild better. In the circle of life.
It just brings me so much joy to take chaos and make it into order, especially in a time in my life where there is a lot of chaos that I can't bring to order.
2, is my newfound obsessive compulsion to solve the cube good for me? Is it useful? My baby has a lot to say about it. Now there's obvious ways that solving puzzles is good for you. The fine motor skills, improved memory, reflexes, dexterity, magic defense, etc. Or simply learning rules and following directions. And, like reading a book or playing a video game, it's a way to de-stress, to focus on one thing.
It puts you in almost like a meditative state. I'm in the flow of it. It's almost like trail running or playing Tetris or something. If you're like me and you're overwhelmed and freaked out right now, this is a surprisingly good use of time.
And that's all well and good, but what I notice that I'm most interested in is what it does for patience, overcoming frustration, the value of practice. There's this wall you hit when you learn something new. It happens to my daughter all the time, I'm seeing. I can't do it! Try again. I can't! I know you can straighten the wrinkle out of the blanket. No! For me, it was strongest with guitar. When I was first trying to learn power chords, I was using the song Glycerine by Bush because it was an easy chord progression. Must be your skin, I'm sinking in, must be for real. Now I can feel. Later I learned that's the 4 chords in nearly every pop song. But at some point I was like, I can't do this! And I like threw the guitar and I was very frustrated. I remember this as the crucial moment where I almost walked away and quit forever. Something in me decided to just continue. And I discovered just doing it over and over, without even an obvious reason why I was improving. You have to trust the process. The Rubik's Cube teaches you that too. It's the same thing. You start to follow the directions and you're like, nope, that's way too much information. I quit, super quit. And that's fine. You do not need to learn how to do the Rubik's Cube. But if you continue, you just start getting better. At one point I got it to about 3 minutes, and then I gradually got it to 2.5, and then I got it down sometimes under 2. 1.5 is my best. And I can't even pinpoint why I'm faster, what I'm doing better. It's an intangible improvement, but it just happens by doing it over and over. It helps teach you that progress doesn't always feel like progress. You gotta practice and trust the process.
Even if you're like me and you don't have a gift for like understanding where this green piece is gonna be 3 moves from now, when you practice, you get better and you begin to develop some of those understandings. I find that with everything in my life. Like the things that I think I suck at, a lot of times it's not that I suck at them, it's that I haven't been able to approach them in a way that works for me, and I haven't done the work yet to really understand them more deeply.
With anything you want to do, you just have to show up over and over again and make sure that you don't let the days go by without practice. And the third question, I still don't remember what it is. That's all. And now I'd like to thank the sponsor of this video, Skillshare. You ever wish someone would dispense abilities at you? Well, someone will. That's exactly the kind of thing you get with Ability Dispense. Sorry, Skillshare. They're an online learning community with inspiring classes numbered in the thousands. That's a lot. You'd know that if you took their mathematics classes. They even have classes on how to solve Rubik's Cubes. You can learn things as a way, as I said earlier, to de-stress, cure boredom, learn how to help yourself express your feelings through creative self-discovery. I definitely can't do that when I draw, the thing I'm probably worst at because I never learned how. Observe. I was trying to express joy. But there's classes on drawing. This class is particularly intriguing to me. Drawing on Everything, Discovering Your Creative Voice, taught by Chantel Martin. It's filled with creative prompts that would motivate me to keep drawing, like drawing while blindfolded, drawing while you turn the paper, kind of demystifies the whole process, and maybe I'll just have more confidence to do it. I'm also going to check out some of them Rubik's Cube classes so that I can decrease my time. See, I already forgot that I'm supposed to decrease it instead of increase it. I need those classes. Get that time down and finally impress my wife. Did it, minute 20 seconds.
Wow.
Thanks for saving my marriage, Skillshare. And you can save your marriage too, or find motivation to do anything with their thousands of classes. With a free 2-month trial of the premium membership if you're one of the first 1,000 people to follow the link and join. Gotta do it soon, be one of the first 1,000. Once you do it, then take a math class and realize how awesome it was to be one of the first 1,000. Just click the link below. Thanks, Skillshare. And now's the part where I say, like, subscribe, comment! Also, did you know I have a second channel, Wheezy News, where I make a video every Monday that's these days been like a half-hour long, and it's also a podcast. I've also been doing a podcast called Movied with my friend Jake, where we talk about movies. That's been going on for years, but now that is also going to go on Wheezy News, the second channel. Video style, as well as still remain podcast style, as well as Harry Styles. No. And to let you know about other videos that are coming up, China and I are doing a video about decluttering, more in depth than our minimalism video we did previously. We do a video about trying to read more books, and somewhere down the line, a video about drinking the proper amount of water every day, which whatever that means. Maybe no one even really knows for sure. And a big thank you to John Green, one of the Vlogbrothers. If you want to go to youtube.com/vlogbrothers or read all of his books if you haven't already. I guess he's just the guy I go to when I want to talk about a way to pass the time, like bubble baths or Rubik's Cubes. It's another one I should talk to him about. If you want to support me on Patreon, I do a video every single weekday over there just for patrons. A monthly live stream, a monthly minute-long banjo face, and other stuff. That's linked right over here. You can subscribe right there. YouTube thinks you'll like that video. Here's a video in which China and I took personality tests. Thank you for watching.